I was just looking for a group of people who would look at what's inside you rather than what's on the outside.
After getting married and kind of getting settled in my life, it still felt like part of me was missing.
I grew up around my grandfather. I saw the impact it had on him and the people that he was around.
I was 67 years old when I became a Mason.
The history of this place and this town were completely enveloped in this lodge.
I had come from an Irish Catholic family and never really had any interest in the Masons at all. A friend of mine said, "Jim, you need to join the Masons. I think you'll find something out of it."
I was busy with so many other things that it kind of slipped my mind, and my attention was drawn to it again when my son joined Masonry.
Growing up, the men that I looked up to and respected and tried to emulate personally and professionally were my dad's friends, and they were all Masons.
I get into like a really serious conversation with this guy. He was asking me if I knew anything about the Mason, and he invited me to come in for a meeting. Really appreciated what I saw the first time, and that's why I decided to turn to be a Mason.
I'm actually the first person in my family to ever be involved in Masonry at all. When I got here, it was so eye-opening to me. It was like, why haven't I been doing this my entire life?
Men have been finding a path to discover the gift of Freemasonry for centuries. Exactly when and how the first Masons came together is a mystery. But it is known that stonemasons' guilds were using symbols, signs, and handshakes to cement their special bond as early as the 12th century. By the early 1700s, the brotherhood expanded to include men from other trades and professions, and the first Grand Lodge was established in London. In 1733, the Grand Lodge of Massachusetts was founded at the Bunch of Grapes Tavern in Boston. It had several different homes before the current Grand Lodge building was constructed in 1899 at the corner of Boylston and Tremont Streets. Today, there are over 230 lodges across the Commonwealth.
When a person joins a Masonic lodge, they become actually a member of a larger tradition.
Richard J. Stewart, Grand Marshal.
It's an awareness of all of the people who come before them.
Ancient, free, and accepted Masons of the Commonwealth of Massachusetts.
This is one of the few fraternities in the world that has been going on for this length of time and has not collapsed or changed.
It's living history.
It still has the same core beliefs, the same core values.
Much of the ritual is the same.
Keeps us together by doing the same things my forefathers did.
I think that the Masonic rituals help us keep a focus on what truth is. We spend so much time in the modern world hearing half-truths and spin that I think it's important that we get back to what real truth is.
Brotherly love, relief, and truth are the three principles every Mason strives to uphold. By observing these principles, you walk a road that Masons in Massachusetts have been traveling since Paul Revere, Joseph Warren, and other patriots were helping to forge the American Revolution. The signposts along this path are the symbols of Freemasonry. Among the basic symbols are the two stones, or ashlars, which are found in every lodge.
The rough ashlar is the way man is by nature, with all his rough parts. The perfect ashlar, however, is what he hopes to achieve. Now, do we ever become the perfect ashlar? Probably not. But it's the goal that we have set for ourselves. And it's a very important goal in Freemasonry.
The most familiar symbols of Freemasonry are the square and compasses. These are the insignia you see on signs at the edge of towns, on the sides of buildings, and often on the backs of cars.
It's a common phrase that Masons meet upon the level and act upon the square. When you meet somebody on the level, you're on the same plane as they are, and you act upon the square. You make sure that your honesty comes through. When you look at me, you see what you've got. The compass allows us to put a circle around our life, know where our boundaries are. It allows us to measure those things that we do, whether it's in time, whether it's in experience, whether it's in relationships. Inside the square and compass, you see the letter G. It stands for geometry, and it also stands for God, because as a Mason, we believe in a supreme being.
You only have to have a belief in God. We don't care what religion.
It does not matter what you call that supreme being, just that you believe.
Just as you can belong to any religious tradition while being a Mason, you can also find your place in the fraternity regardless of your age, occupation, or life experience.
Inside the lodge, we're all the same brothers.
People who do everything from doctors and lawyers to stonemasons.
George Washington was a Mason, but so was his gardener, too.
Have people who have been in Masonry for a week and been in Masonry for 50 years.
People who are 3 times your age, people who come from countries halfway around the world, people you would otherwise never have met.
And the ability to sit down and listen to them and to learn from them only gives a greater depth and understanding to who I am.
It's just an incredible feeling, to have people you'd never even met before treat you like a brother.